Hello everyone and welcome back to another FSeries Friday. If this is your first time here on the channel, make sure you are subscribed. If you are a regular, make sure you're subscribed, like the video and also comment down below because we love hearing all of your thoughts. So make sure you leave a comment this week. We'll be checking. Right, girls, this week we are going to be talking about Alpha Tauri. So Pierre and Yuki got announced again right before the Monza weekend. So we're just going to jump in straight away and say, are you happy that Pierre and Yuki have been announced for the 2022 Alpha Tauri seats? Yes. What's our initial thoughts? Yes, happy?
Yeah, Yuki needs another year. He's not had long enough to really prove himself, and his first half of the season hasn't really been great, but he needs the opportunity. Well, he needs a full year and another year in that Alpha Tauri to show what he's really capable of. And why would you get rid of Pierre Gasly? Honestly, he is carrying that team at the minute, so it just makes sense to me. And Yuki has now a great guy alongside him to learn from before he maybe or maybe not gets promoted to the main team. Sorry, okay, maybe not.
No. Yeah, I'm really happy with this lineup. I think I saw something on Twitter actually, which was, I think, a crucial point. There's a lot of people that moan about how Red Bull aren't given enough, that like the juniors enough time, and they swap them in and out. It's not juniors; it can be anyone very capable. But actually, it's quite good to see that Yuki has struggled this year, but they're still giving him the opportunity to carry on next year and hopefully build himself up, because nobody can just, not everybody, not everyone's Lewis Hamilton. They can't just waltz into Formula One and nearly win a championship. Like, people have to build themselves up. So I think the Yuki and Pierre pairing is beautiful. It's amazing. I love all the behind the scenes. I love them on track, and I can't wait for next year.
Yeah, I was going to say, like what you said, Kira, I think the fact that Red Bull obviously is AlphaTauri, but Red Bull is their sister team, the fact that they have kept Yuki after he hasn't been having the best performances does just show that they are trying to stick with their drivers and they're not swapping and changing. Whether it would be the same with an actual Red Bull seat, we don't know. But I'm very, very happy that Yuki has been given another chance to have another year, settle in more. And obviously Pierre is a great teacher, and I think they really vibe well together. You see the pictures of them playing football or running around the tracks together, and I think it's a really nice dynamic.
Or Pierre pulling Yuki's hair while going on a buggy down a tunnel, which is very concerning. If you watched our TikTok video, you'll know that.
Yeah, I think I agree with all you girls as well. I'm really happy to see this lineup continuing, and I think it is definitely one of the stronger lineups. As you say, they've got that friendship element, but they also you can tell that they work together really well. So obviously Pierre is definitely outclassing Yuki at the minute, which is totally understandable. Yuki's a rookie.
Ooh, rhymes.
So the first half of the season, Pierre won 11-0 on the qualifying battle. He's looking really strong this half of the season as well. Do we think that Yuki's going to get one of those qualifyings ahead of Pierre or not?
No.
No hope.
Pierre is on one in quali. On one. He's like qualifying fourth. Excuse me? No, there is no way Yuki's gonna. If Pierre keeps this up, it's not even that Yuki's necessarily doing a bad job. I mean, he's not doing a great job, really. Most of the time he's out in Q1. But Pierre is doing an excellent job. So just thinking if Yuki can. I can't use my words today. I just don't think Yuki will be able to out Pierre.
You say that in literally every video, can I just add? I mean, if you went back on
no,
all
I
videos,
don't.
you would say every time, I can't use my words today. No, maybe you can use English. Is that your point finished?
Yeah. I can't words, so.
Yeah, I really don't know if that's going to happen this year, unless Pierre has an incident in quali or maybe, an unfortunate Q1 exit, like if you miss the flag or whatever, but that doesn't really tend to happen with them. They're always quite on the ball at Alpha Tauri, so I don't really see it happening on outright pace unless, as I said, something happens. But maybe next year, I'd like to see him not completely wipe the floor with Yuki next year. Maybe Yuki just needs a little bit more time, but yeah, it's not very likely looking at the one-lap pace of both of them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that he will be out qualifying Pierre at all this season. And like Kira said, maybe if there's like a freak thing, or Pierre just doesn't get out, or the car's mangled or something like that. But I really do think that this year is just sort of a relaxing, like, ease your way in for Yuki, and that's why I'm happy they've given him the extra spot. So hopefully next year they can actually battle it out together, but for this year I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I very much agree, and I think, as you girls have been saying as well, like, it's nice to see that AlphaTauri have got this nice relaxed environment, or not relaxed, but relaxed in terms of Formula One, as relaxed as you can be, and are giving Yuki that time. So we've discussed Pierre being an absolute rocket, getting some P4s, getting some absolute stellar results. AlphaTauri at the minute are sitting P6 in the championship with 84 points, and 66 of those points have come from Pierre. What do we think of Pierre this season? He has been. Does he deserve a better seat than this AlphaTauri? Because he has been on fire.
Oh my god.
Kira. We all know you want to talk about him.
Well, sorry about that one. Just having a little think about him. He's just on fire. I don't know what to say other than I knew this was going to happen. I knew he was going to come back into his element and shine. It doesn't surprise me at all that all of them points came from Gasly because what was that stat? No, I've got it in my notes. I might be wrong.
No, she's even prepared.
Wait, hang on a minute. 10 out of 13 of the last races, so this is up to Zandvoort, Gasly has started in the top 6 and he pretty much stays there. So I can completely see why he's getting all these points. Do I want him at Red Bull? No. Do I think maybe if a door opens in the next couple of years at Aston Martin, McLaren, one of the midfield teams like that? Absolutely yes. Don't think there's any doors opening for Mercedes or Ferrari or Red Bull, no. So if he can just kind of get out of that system, I think that would be great. But at the moment, I'm very happy that he's still at AlphaTauri. I think it's a very secure place for him at the moment. But we know that Formula 1 could change a lot, and like we've seen even this silly season, like, would you ever expected all this stuff to have happened? No. So it changes every year, but for the moment, I think he's very secure at AlphaTauri. But would I like him out of that system? Yes, I would.
I think the only way Pierre is necessarily going to succeed in the future is if he gets out of Red Bull, because I feel like regardless of what happens, whether it's his choice or Red Bull's choice, he will not be driving for AlphaTauri beyond next year, because Red Bull have to promote juniors, and even though Pierre is doing an incredible job, the whole point of the AlphaTauri seat is to basically prep a junior to go into the Red Bull, the main team. So I don't think they can justify having Pierre there any longer. So I feel like he knows that he's got to, look elsewhere for a seat. We thought it might be with Alpine, French boy, French team. Apparently Esteban Ocon got that title filled, so Pierre going to have to look elsewhere now. But yeah, I definitely think there will be an opportunity for him elsewhere on the grid because he's a fantastic driver. He's doing a fantastic job.
I'd maybe argue that point, that you don't think he'll be staying there long, because Red Bull now have Max. Max is Red Bull's future. They've made that very clear. So how much do they actually need to promote juniors? Yes, they've got lots of juniors, but there's less seats on offer. So maybe there is an opportunity for Pierre to be like a really solid AlphaTauri driver who like helps those, not like Akemi with the Alphas, but almost just there to help nurture, not nurture, that's the wrong word, but nature, that's not even a word, but
no, I get you. I guess it depends, because Helmut Marko has the reign over the juniors and he also has a lot of say over the seats. So obviously in Helmut's kind of side of things, he is the manager, the boss, he's the decision maker of that junior team. So I guess if he was to like stop promoting the juniors for Pierre Gasly, then would it look bad on his part? So you just don't know internally how the structures are. But I think it still would be great to have Pierre there as like a mentor, I guess is the word, and to have somebody, a junior alongside. But Red Bull just have too many drivers. To be honest with you, they could fill a whole grid if they put them all in, and they can't. So they have got a problem, and it's not our problem. So they're just gonna have to deal with it, aren't they?
I think if you look at them, Pierre, he's obviously smashing it, absolutely smashing it, and you can see he went from the toxic Red Bull back into Alpha Tauri. I say this all the time, but you can legit see the difference between the two teams and how he slits in really well. And I think me and Steph spoke.
Look at his hairline.
Exactly.
It's growing back.
It's coming back. And I think me and Steph said it actually in one of the Stick or Twist episodes. Like, we actually could see.
Oh yeah.
We could actually see him. Like, obviously, I don't think the opportunity is going to be coming around anytime soon, but. Like, I feel like he does have the ability to drive in, like, a team like Mercedes. Like, he's young, he's improving every season. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if whenever Lewis does decide to retire, that Pierre's name is thrown into the mix, because I do generally think that he does have the ability to drive alongside George Russell. Like, could you imagine that? 2 young drivers in a Mercedes.
I don't think Kira would remain alive.
No, she wouldn't.
Sorry, I just had a little thought about that for a second. I was like, it's hard enough having Lewis and George together, because it's like, stress me out. Add Pierre into the mix, I will cry. Oh, carry on. I can't. I'm thinking about it now. Oh. Next question.
Next question. Right, well, the next question is, we were all big Yuki advocates. We did a video right at the start of the season discussing Mick Schumacher and Yuki Tsunoda. We all said Yuki was gonna come out on top. It was Yuki that we were most impressed or most looking forward to seeing. Are you still of that opinion, girls? Or what's your thoughts looking back on Yuki's season now? Because we were hyping him.
We were hyping him, but I think Mick has the edge. The stuff he's been doing in that Haas, I'm sorry, it shouldn't be legal. Fighting with Max Verstappen. I know Max had damage, and I know half the cars were out of the race in the Hungarian GP, but the way he was just defending, the way he was fighting wheel to wheel with his drive, with these cars, Max was in the fastest car that weekend, and Mick was in the slowest. That difference is astounding. And the fact that not a simp, I'm just a big
passionate
fan, okay? Just passionate. But yeah, I thought what he was doing was great. And do you know what? We talked about the fact that Mick usually takes a season to warm up, and while he has been doing and having silly mistakes and making slight errors, crashing the car quite frequently, I do still think that he has really shown his worth, because, well, his teammate by comparison isn't great.
I'm sorry, is this a Mick Schumacher video, or is this a Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly video?
Oh, right, sorry, okay. The point that I'm trying to make is that we expected Mick in the first season to kind of struggle a little bit, whereas Yuki has kind of, Kira will say because she's the feeder series queen, but he's jumped up from categories really rapidly, and so we all thought that he was going to come in Formula One and, you know, jump right in and not really struggle as much as we expected Mick to struggle. So in that context, I think I'm a little bit disappointed with Yuki, and I would say that Mick is outperforming. I just think we're all a little bit disappointed and we expected more from Yuki. That was a really long way to go about it. Sorry for bringing up Mick. Just any opportunity, really.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that video, but I can remember the thumbnail, which is weird. But anyway, I think, as Steph said, you know, Yuki was the person that was going up every year into a Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2, Formula 1. So I think we expected him to come up a little bit quicker. But the issue I'm having here is it's very difficult to see who I think have done better in a way, because every time they kind of come on the screen, it's kind of like for something negative. And I know that sounds really bad, but like, Mick hasn't got the car, so he is just fighting Nikita basically. So we see that sometimes, but actually Yuki has got the car to fight other people. But I don't really can't think of a time where we've seen him in like a proper on-track battle. I don't know if I'm wrong, but trying to think back, like I can't think of a time where he's like really been battling with somebody in that midfield.
And if he has, it definitely hasn't been like broadcast the way it has been broadcast with other drivers.
So I feel like that's a bit disappointing, because we haven't seen any of that. But again, the broadcast team have been all over the place this year, so it might have been doing some great moves, we just don't know. But yeah, I feel like both of them have kind of been a little bit. But do you know what? I'm all about giving someone another year, so I'm just excited to see what he does in the next year.
I think if you pick up on what Steph said, like how we always say that Mick takes like a season to like gel and like get used to it, and Yuki's always like so rapid. They've basically swapped roles, because it's now Yuki that has taken like more than 1 year to get used to it. Like Mick, like you have to give it to him. He is in the worst car on the grid. So like, and I know he's doing silly mistakes, but like if he hasn't got the car, he can't show any of his other ability. Like he can, like we all know he's a good driver, but so I think obviously Yuki, I really do hope he improves next season. I have been a bit disappointed, especially after Bahrain, after how well he did on his debut. So yeah, I have been a bit disappointed, but I still have hope for him. I still really like him.
Well, that's... My brain just stopped working there.
We're just not having it today, are we?
Right.
It's only going downhill from here.
Last season, Alpha Tauri finished up the Formula One Championship. They finished the year in 7th place. They're currently sitting 6th this year. Do you think that they're on arc and they're going to maintain that 6th position and get better results than they did last year?
Is Aston Martin behind them?
Yeah.
I think it really, really does depend on Aston Martin, because they've both, like Aston Martin's got 2 drivers who have the ability to get points. That they do have the car. Sometimes I always say they're very they're inconsistent. Some weeks they have an amazing car, they can get P5, P6, P7, and in other weeks they're like P15, P16, P17. But I really do think it depends on how Aston Martin do, because the Alpha Tauri at the moment are relying on Pierre to get results, and only one person getting points is not going to get them up the table like they need to be. So I really do think it depends on how well Aston Martin do, because obviously their car's not been as great, and the more Pierre gets great performances and the less great performances Aston Martin get is obviously going to help. But yeah, I really don't know. I think it's going to be really close between Alpine, Alpha Tauri and Aston.
I would say they've probably got Aston Martin covered now. I think there's quite a big points deficit, so I'd probably say that they've got them covered. They're only 6 points behind Alpine, so it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds, because I feel like you've got Ocon and Alonso in similar positions in the field, and they're normally ahead of Yuki. However, Pierre is so far ahead, it's like for a weekend Alpine may get 3 points, but Pierre may then get 6 points on his own. I feel like he is carrying the team, so even if Yuki does fall back to P17 or whatever, I feel like they could probably get Alpine, so it really depends. But I reckon they could probably get P5 this year. I'm going to go as far as to say that, because as I said, Alpine and them are really close. I think Aston Martin are too far back, but it'll be interesting to see whether Pierre can carry this team home.
I agree, and I think P5 is 100% on the table for Alpha Tauri. The thing is, with everyone's hyping up Sebastian Vettel, and I don't want to not hype him up because he has had some great performances, but also there's no consistency. He did spin at the weekend. Whereas what Pierre Gasly has, he did spin at the weekend in
Leave him alone.
Yeah. No.
Leave him alone.
No. But the point I'm trying to make is Sebastian Vettel has no consistency at the minute. We've done
neither does Lance, I guess.
12.
Yeah, Lance.
No, Lance has the consistency. When you look at his points, like he's scored in more Grand Prix than Seb has, even though he has less points, but he has been more consistent over the season. So
P16, sorry.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Right, stop jumping on Lance. The point I'm trying to make is Seb is inconsistent and Ocon is inconsistent, and also Lance can be inconsistent. So the drivers that are in the teams around them, the problem is inconsistencies, because I think that the Alpine both the Aston Martin and the Alpine have the potential to jump Alpha Tauri, but the problem is Pierre Gasly is so consistent, and the thing with Alpha Tauri is it's working at almost every track, whereas there are tracks where the Alpine and the Aston Martin aren't working as well, whereas the Alpha Tauri, even it might actually not be working on certain tracks, but Pierre Gasly's making it work, and that's the problem that the other teams are going to have, because Pierre is having this consistency, and the fact that the other teams lack that, it's like Pierre could be consistently P5 for the rest of the season, but we could get a P2 or a P1 from the other teams, but because they don't have that consistency and they might not be scoring in the other races, Pierre is overall going to get them because he's consistent. I need another word apart from consistent.
And we all know
beautiful, amazing, talented, and a king.
Okay, all of the above. But yeah, I definitely think there's an opportunity for Alpha Tauri. If Yuki gets better, there could be P5 genuinely is on the table. I would be so surprised, not with how the car's performing because it deserves well, but I'm so surprised with how Alpha Tauri have kind of come out of the blocks this year, and genuinely think that they are capable of getting much higher than just P7.
And as the Mercedes, or the newly signed Mercedes driver George Russell once said, consistency is key in Formula One.
That's a fact.
Stop it.
Final thoughts, wrapping up, girls. Pierre is currently sitting P8 in the championship. Yuki is sitting P13 in the championship. Do we think that's about where they should be based on their performances, or do you think they should be a little bit higher, a little bit lower? Final thoughts quickly.
I thought Yuki would be lower, to be honest with you. I don't know why. I feel like I was thinking more like P15, but to be fair, it's not too bad. Pierre, I think, is going to go a little bit higher as well. I think he could jump some of the Ferraris, so that'd be really interesting. But yeah, I feel like Pierre higher, Yuki lower, which is, sorry, that's a bit rude.
I think I predicted Pierre to finish the season P13, so if he could stay there, that would be nice for my crystal ball.
He's P8.
Other one then, Yuki.
Sorry.
I predicted Yuki to be P13. I forgot what I was saying. I actually think that Pierre could stay with P8. I think Daniel Ricciardo's behind him right now. Both the Ferraris I predict to stay above him, just because the Ferraris are doing so well at the minute, actually. Could potentially get Fernando Alonso, who I predicted to be I think he's currently lower than Pierre, but I think he'll stay ahead of Fernando Alonso. Yeah, P8 I'm going to say is a good place, potentially P7, but don't think any higher than that.
Yeah,
No, I'm going to say P8.
I feel like from his performances and how consistent he should be, this is Pierre, he should be a bit higher. I'm going to say about like P7, P6. I'd love him to get P6, but obviously just looking at the Ferraris and Lando as well, and Checo, obviously that's quite tight up there. But I'd love for him to be P6. I would love it. P7 is my guess for the season. And Yuki, I'm genuinely surprised that he's only P13. I thought it was going to be like P16. So yeah, obviously Yuki's doing better than I thought. Even though I just said I was disappointed, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I was really shocked to see that Pierre was P13. My only concern is
Yuki was P13.
Goodness gracious.
We've said their names too much. We've said their names too much.
We've been doing this a year. We still don't know what we're saying. Yeah, I thought Yuki, wow, he's P13. Wow. Pierre, wow, he's P8. I thought it'd be a bit high. I think we need to finish up, boys and girls. Thank you so much to everyone who watched this chaotic mess. Let us know what you think down below in the comments. Are you shocked at where they are or not? What's your thoughts on Alpha Tauri this season? Make sure that you like this video and are subscribed, because every Friday
I'll just do a thumbs down. Sorry. I meant to do a thumbs up. Sorry, I'm really sorry.
Don't do a thumbs down. Oh, absolutely
Just
not.
ignore Kira. We always do anyway.
Absolutely not.
Please.
But anyway, I was saying every Friday is an F-Series Friday, so make sure you are subscribed, because we will see you again next week. Bye!